So on the 4th of August in 1921, the idea for a memorial for Victoria was raised at a public meeting at Melbourne Town Hall. And on that day, Melbourne City Council and the state government pledged £50,000 towards the building of a memorial. And it was really from that moment on that fundraising towards building a memorial started. So when the donations were made, people were given a slip of paper and they were asked to tear off a section of that and send it back to the committee so that the receipts could be placed in the crypt in the Shrine of Remembrance. The receipts have been in there since 1937 and they haven't been removed since then. So this is the first time that they've actually been taken out of the sealed time capsules that they were placed in, and we've been able to view the receipts.
So what we're doing today with these time capsules is that we're looking at opening them up. They've exhibited some issues around swelling, and we think that there might be some issues going on. We're not really sure why. It probably has something to do with the boxes that the donation receipts were placed in originally. They would have used an acidic paper, and sometimes that can cause gases to occur as it degrades over time. So what we decided to do was actually use a small blade, like a Dremel blade, to gently cut the original boxes on one end so that the boxes contained within can be removed. Got a lot of corrosion in there. That's probably from the flux that was used to kind of seal the edges. So when you put a solder on, you use a flux. Usually it's an acid. It removes oxides and cleans the metal. So that's probably what that is there. Might be where we need somebody else. Oh no, here we go.
Okay, so we've opened up the metal container, and here's the box that contains the donor cards inside. You can see it's pretty discoloured. It's probably darkened quite a bit being inside. And we've got a bit of a line happening here, so probably what's happened is as this part of the box is discoloured, this section in here has had the extra layer of protection of the lid. So it could just be dirt. Obviously it's not going to be light damage because they weren't subject to light. So we've opened them up. You can see the donor cards inside. They're a little bit dirty, so a bit of surface dirt. I can see these dark spots occasionally as we look through the line of cards. So we normally refer to that as foxing. And then if we lift up the first donor card, you get to see the printing ink for the run of all the tickets that were sent out. It looks like they were perforated on the edge. At the bottom here it says this section should be detached and forwarded to the committee, and then it can be lodged in the crypt of the Shrine of Remembrance. So perhaps they were mailed out to the donors, the potential donors. This particular card's interesting because if I shine a light through the back of the paper, we can see a little bit of a watermark there, just the end of a watermark. So the letters O-N-D, it's upside down, and A-N at the end. I can't read that letter. So if someone wanted to do a little bit of research, they might be able to find out the paper manufacturer. So that's always interesting and nice to see a watermark. Yeah. Okay, what we're just about to do is reseal the time capsules, which contain all the donor receipts for the people who originally donated money to help build the shrine. One of the ideas in terms of replacing the containers was to have these new acrylic ones made so that we can easily look through them and visually just see if there's any issues happening with the cards inside. But of course the cards inside needed to be housed within a box. The original boxes were quite acidic, so we've replaced that with a non-acidic blue board corrugated card. So these are the new boxes, and you can see the donor cards all lined up there. This was one of the first ones. So we've got the lid going on there. They're actually quite heavy, so in order to help the next person who opens them up in the future to pull them out of the new containers, we've attached this cotton strap here, and that will just they're a very snug fit in the acrylic containers, so you really need this strap to help pull them out. So I'll just slide this in now. So it's a very snug fit. I can feel the air being expelled as I push it in. And so there it is nicely, and we have our strap just folded in, nestling against the end of the new box there. So we're going to stand that up, and then we'll seal this box up. So we have 6 of these to do, and all we have is an acrylic lid with a little lip around it. I'll just use a bit of silicone sealant, just a very small amount, to seal that. So they'll be quite easy to open and just check in the future, and again, very easy to reseal.
So today we are returning the donation receipts to the crypt casket in the crypt, and it's a little bit of a tight squeeze in there. The crypt has been created with not a lot of space for staff to get around the back and place the containers back in there. The donation receipts were individually photographed, but they're not currently in a searchable format, so this opens the door for a future project. Once they're returned to the casket, we'll be able to check on them every now and then just to make sure that the conditions are all fine, and they'll remain in there for decades to come.